On September 8, 2025, Ukraine launched one of its most concentrated missile and drone assaults of the war, targeting Russian troop concentrations near the Pokrovsk sector of Donetsk. The primary target, the Topaz metal plant, a sprawling, now-defunct industrial site long repurposed by Russian forces as a staging ground for assaults toward western Donetsk. Ukrainian forces deployed a coordinated aerial barrage using a blend of domestically produced drones and advanced Western cruise missiles. The operation marked a shift in intensity and coordination rarely seen since the early stages of the war. Video footage shows massive waves of explosions rippling across the site, illuminating the night sky and turning the plant into a firestorm. The weapons used, a lethal mix. Ukraine's An-196 propeller drones likely served as the first wave, scouting targets and potentially acting as decoys. Morok drones, designed for stealth attack operations, may have followed close behind. But the backbone of the operation came from the new generation of Ukrainian cruise missiles, locally produced Bars and Peklo variants, paired with British-made Storm Shadow missiles known for their precision and long-range punch. Reports suggest that up to a dozen missile and drone impacts hit the Topaz facility within minutes. Russian vehicles, fuel depots, and troop formations were reportedly destroyed or heavily damaged. The scale of devastation has not been fully assessed, but satellite imagery and combat footage suggest a significant blow to Russian logistics and manpower in the region. So why Topaz? The facility has been repeatedly identified by Ukrainian intelligence and NATO sources as a critical logistics hub for Russian operations in the eastern Donbass. From this location, Russian armor and artillery are funneled toward the Pokrovsk front. By striking here, Ukraine aimed to disrupt supply chains, delay Russian offensives, and impose attritional costs ahead of autumn campaigns. The attack also sends a clear message. Following recent Russian offensives in Zaporizhzhia and Donetsk, President Zelensky has authorized deeper, more aggressive counterstrikes behind the front lines. This marks an evolution in Ukraine's air power doctrine, from isolated drone strikes to synchronized multi-platform assaults with NATO-grade precision weapons. The geopolitical implications are also significant. By deploying Storm Shadow missiles, donated by the United Kingdom, Ukraine reaffirms its reliance on Western technology for long-range strikes. These missiles, capable of traveling over 250 kilometers with pinpoint accuracy, give Kyiv the ability to hit high-value targets deep in Russian-controlled territory. And this operation proves it's doing just that. Meanwhile, Russia's air defenses were either overwhelmed or too slow to react. Multiple sources suggest that the first impacts occurred with little to no interception, highlighting ongoing weaknesses in Russian radar and anti-aircraft systems, especially when saturated by multi-angle drone and missile attacks. On the ground, the psychological effect may be just as powerful as the physical. The scale of the destruction, the sophistication of the strike, and its clear targeting of Russian military infrastructure represent a turning point in psychological warfare. Ukraine isn't just defending anymore, it's projecting power. The Topaz strike will likely be studied by military analysts for months. But for now, one thing is certain. Ukraine just sent a loud, clear message through fire and steel. The era of reactive defense is over. The precision retaliation has begun.